Hola amigos, I am Rodolfo Ramos, Bradesco BBI's Mexico strategist, and welcome to This What's What in Mexico, our bi-weekly video product to bring you our latest views. As you can see here today, we are in the middle of beautiful Grand Central Park here in New York City. So I hope that you find this background entertaining and you don't get distracted too much by the people coming around me. But diving here into our content, we're going to be covering three topics here of discussion. First, we're going to be talking about the federal budget that was presented earlier this week. Second, we're going to give you just a very brief thoughts on the FIBRA day and our main impressions there on the FIBRAs and the industrial space. And third, we're going to give you our latest views on Mexico's equity markets, which have been making significant moves. So kicking off here with our first point of discussion here, the first topic on the federal budget, it was very clear to us that Sheinbaum had very clear priorities in mind. She's addressing the energy sector with a massive increase in budgetary allocation for the energy sector, particularly to Pemex, which is it is expected to have over a 500 billion peso allocation, budgetary allocation. So this was a very important announcement for investors as well. Second priority that we saw was a focus again on the social agenda. We saw Sheinbaum in her first budget putting some of these on hold as she was struggling with this fiscal consolidation. This year now she's expected to roll out some of the social programs that she introduced, particularly for these pensions for the elderly women in Mexico, and also these expanded scholarships for the youth. No, so these two priorities were very evident for us when we saw the budget. Again, overall we saw the budget being constructed on optimistic macro assumptions, but once you go out and net out all of the different variables, we actually see little to actually upside risk to Hacienda's numbers. So this 4.1% deficit target, we actually think is quite doable. So again, we believe that this prudent management on the macro side has given or has helped Sheinbaum de-risk the Mexico story in a very complex global scenario. No, looking a little bit more on the detail on the budget, we did see some measures on excise taxes affecting some of the Mexico's largest companies on the bottling side. It was reduced versus what the initial rumors were pointing to, so it might signal some negotiation there happening in the background, but nonetheless, this was something that the administration took it on themselves, and we have seen this playbook being used again last year when they went after mining companies. So this is a way for them not to engage in a more meaningful tax reform and at the same time start raising revenues from different sources. We also saw them having a very important increase in this line for tariffs. So this again signals the administration's a complete alignment to what we've seen from the U.S., from the Trump administration on the tariff side, and we would expect tariffs to be announced for Mexico's trading partners in Asia particularly. So this is a point that also caught our attention. And the last point here on the federal budget was this the limit. Now the government is limiting the contributions that banks have to make to FDIC, the IPAB, the Deposit Insurance Fund. So again, we were expecting this deductibility to be completely eliminated, and what they are proposing is actually a 25%, allowing only 25% of this reserves to be deducted against your taxable income. So again, it signals a little bit of more of a measured approach and more negotiations taking place on that front. So this is what we had for you in the budget. You can feel free to go through our more detailed report to look at all of the minutiae of the federal budget. Moving on here to our second point, we were fortunate enough to be present in the FIBRA event last week that basically gathered all of the FIBRAs, Mexican FIBRAs in New York City. It is clear to us that the momentum and interest in the sector is starting to pick up. Of course, there's a lot of things on the horizon that are still not defined, and there's still uncertainty on the USMCA review. and the ongoing tariffs that are currently being in place in Mexico. But for us, it's very clear that Mexico is standing much better in relative terms to the rest of the world and other U.S. partners. So we do believe that once these uncertainties clear up, we're going to see nearshoring coming back in full steam. And the FIBRAs, the industrial real estate companies in Mexico, are very excited to participate in that, and also investors, of course. So this is the second point that we're going to discuss. And just to close here, because we have seen the Mexican market making new highs, now hovering around the 60,000 point level. We do have a 65,000 point target for the Mexican Stock Exchange Index. And we have seen a very heterogeneity within the performance within the sector, but we do believe that that this more constructive domestic policy makeup and also better news out of the negotiations with the U.S. is likely going to help the Mexican equities continue to perform. Also, on top of this, you have the fact that long-term rates have decisively moved down from the 9% level, and this has always been a key hindrance for Mexico's capital market. So the fact that we have lower long-term rates, we believe that it should be much more conducive for a thriving Mexico's capital market. To the fact that we have now seen more companies exploring the possibility of doing an IPO, something that was completely unheard of a few years ago. So this optimism we expected to continue, notwithstanding some challenges within particular sectors. No, but for all of the allocation, recommended allocation, feel free to go through our latest reports. So this is what we had for you today. I hope you found it useful. Feel free to follow us on social media and, of course, our reports. And until the next time, amigos, take care. Ciao, ciao.